Welcome. It's another story time with Jackie. Today we're going to be covering the 2014 WFTDA Championship, Gotham Roller Derby, and Rose City Roller Derby. Holy moly, this is the first chapter of the trilogy. But I'm really excited to show you guys this game today because I'm already buzzed from watching Gotham versus Texas last week. It was a really good game, and it was the first time anyone really got close to Gotham in a long time. I will start with showing you Gotham's year. Beat Texas by 26 points, and then a very lovely year of many wins. And Texas tested them again. They had the rematch in the semifinal. It was intense. Everyone wanted to see this rematch, but it was tough to know that we wouldn't get both teams in the final again. That was really hard. Just kind of amazing to see this matchup because Rose City went from not making it to champs in 2013. London took Rose City's spot that they wanted really badly. I was talking to Lauren Much for the podcast just a couple weeks ago, and she said the team just believed. The coach kept saying, I think we can do this. I think we might be able to do this. And believe they did. Because look at Rose City's year. Lots of wins. This loss to Texas was pretty significant. A very close game with Angel City in 2014. But otherwise, look at these big point spreads. And Rose had to beat Bay Area in the semifinal to get to this game. I think we all enjoy this intro. Engage the back muscles. And then jump, jump, jump. Look at this roster. We've got Rivas, we've got Sarelson, baby Lauren Much. What a great roster. Now some of these still play for Rose City, but some have retired, some have moved on to other teams. Ah, Liquor and Split. I miss seeing you play. Wheels of Justice, a very happy team, happy to be playing roller derby, very happy to have made it here. I think even though they wanted to believe, it was hard to imagine they'd actually make it from where they were the last year until this point here. To make it into this game to face off against Gotham, who has been undefeated for years, still at this point. Oh, Gotham is bopping. Oh yeah, I remember this so well because this was the first time they did an introduction like this. This is the most personality I had ever seen out of Gotham at this point. It made me so happy. It was like, Gotham can have fun too. Yes, I am feeling this. So much enthusiasm. I love this. This is basically a dynamic warm-up. Very effective. Isn't it amazing to think back now and realize that this was the first WFTDA Championship game for Lauren Much and Miss T Maven? It's going to be so fun to look back on this and see how each of them react to being here in this moment at this level. And they've grown so much since then. Both of them are such beast mode now. Lauren Much and Bonnie Thunders, who are now teammates, but back then they didn't know that would happen. Right now they are competitors. Look at how different this is. Like, look at the difference 1 year makes. Last year, a week ago, we were seeing all these flat four walls. Everything was a flat four wall. Now Rose City's like, how about this tripod? So much more tripod action. It looks like when things break down, we go back to the forward skating flat wall attempt, trying to get together as a flat wall, but definitely setting up in formations for the first time this year effectively. What's so fun about watching the high-level game at the end of each year is it kind of defines what that year was like, what everyone learned in roller derby, how the sport changed, how everyone evolved. Because teams push each other. Like I talked about last week, every team had to evolve to face Gotham. They had to get better to get ready for Gotham. If you want to beat the best team in the world, you have to find a way. You have to figure out what are they doing so well and how do I counter that? And that's what Rose City is trying to do right now. First lead for Rose City. Eagles just go, mow these people down. That's right, Eagle. Live your best life. Susie is out. Oh, nice little hit out there at the front. Good blocker awareness. Look how effectively all those Rose City blockers just kind of cuddled everybody to the inside line, which was real easy for Eagle. I got to talk to Bonnie Thunders this week. I asked her specifically about the evolution of these matchups of Rose versus Gotham. What was different each year? What did Gotham have to do? The thing Gotham learned in this game was that Rose City was doing all this offense, and Gotham was not so much. Gotham was more a heavily defensive team overall, but Rose was like, let's do lots of offense. Let's see what happens if we just go for it. And that meant Gotham had to adjust for somebody. And that was exciting. It was an exciting challenge. It was something that they got to learn from and adapt to keep upping their game too. This was something that happened for years, people lining right across from each other. And the idea was, look how much of the track we take up if we're all side by side. You just put on your giant plow and try to be next to each other. But it's really hard to stay next to each other like that, especially with speed and physics and someone pushing on you like so. The flat wall didn't last because jammers are very good like this of like juking and breaking through a wall, and people wanted more support. That's why we started having that backwards facing person being the support. Look how far Vicious Van Gogh has come in a year. It's funny, it's been a week for us, but a year for her. The last game, she didn't play that much, and she made some crucial mistakes. She ended up in the penalty box and cost the team some points out there because power jams were so long. She's doing so well in this game. I remember she is really good in this game. That was lovely. Oh, you have to go back though. The flat four wall is just an outdated way of doing things because we learned something new. It's kind of like how in football, it used to be every play was see how far you could get. San Francisco started the strategy of short passes that were easy to complete and getting things done in a few plays and continually moving down the field. That changed the sport of football completely. At first, everyone was like, I don't like this. I like giant kicks. I like giant passes. Where's my giant pass? But those things are very risky. And if it doesn't work out, then you're just giving the other team the ball back. By doing the West Coast offense, it was called, football changed. And our sport changes like that too. Backwards blocking and skill skating backwards changed how we could block. Oh, nice, Susie! Bonnie is back. It's Jam 5, and this is the third time Bonnie has jammed, if you are keeping track. This technically could be considered West Coast offense. It's funny, I learned about that term in a coaching book from the coach who started the West Coast offense. That coach actually hated the name. He hated the term. He didn't want it to be called that at all, but that's what stuck. Bill Walsh was that football coach. It's actually my favorite book for coaches if you're ever interested in reading a book about coaching. It's called The Score Takes Care of Itself. Oh, who's that there on the jam line? Who's that? I believe that's Little Miss T. Maven and Little Lauren Much in their first big champs game, competing against each other. Oh, my heart, I'm so proud of you both. Come on, little jammers, jam your hearts out. Yes, you can do it, Maven. That's right. Oh, you got knocked down. That looked hurtful. Oh, Much is down too. Blockers say, turn one? No thanks. You don't get it. Oh, only two blockers. And that's what Lauren Much is about. Lauren Much is about the speed and the outside line very effectively. Where is the pack? Y'all are so spread out. Oh my gosh. Sexy Slady is so lethal, so effective there, just waiting, lying in wait for you. This is a tiny pack. Eagle, you didn't even have to have a challenge there. You're just like, I think I'd like the inside line now, as there are no blockers around to defend it. All the blockers go bye-bye. Here goes some more. This is ridiculous. We have two players. Eagle's like, I guess I juke you. Was that cool? Bonnie's like, I have some feedback for the blockers. Just so you know, I learned something in this jam. I do like jammers that continually communicate on the bench and on the track. Once again, very, very tiny pack. Nice, Mercy. Mercy did a really good job just capturing her and slowing her down and trying to bring her to friends, but Susie just dominated on the speed there. She did not let up. Unfortunately, it was to her detriment. No, penalty for Susie, and she gets to go all the way around because we had a silly rule about that. Oh no, Liquor, why? All right, look at this setup here for this power jam. Like, I got this. No, I don't got this anymore. I'm off the track. Why? Lady. Lady on the outside. Don't test Lady on the outside. If you learn one thing in this game, probably don't test Lady on the outside. There's so much intense energy in this game. You can kind of sense the players are keyed up. You can tell by the train of players going to the penalty box that everyone's just a little bit too hyped, a little bit too excited, and they kind of need to take it down like a couple of notches to just get in the zone, I think. It's tough. You're in this big moment. It's such a big moment, and you want to do amazing, but sometimes that nervous energy just takes it away from you. Oh, look at that happy jammer. I did a thing. Look at the thing I did. Did a very good job there. She's really happy she pulled that move off. Eagle and Bonnie. Rose is going to start off with a 3 flat wall. They don't have an extra person to be the support. Let's see how effective that is and if they change. Yes. As soon as they figured out where Bonnie was going to go, they switched into a tripod, but they didn't quite seal it in perfectly, so it was a little harder to contain, and they definitely got a multiplayer block there in the process of trying to keep Bonnie. It's still effective, though, because Bonnie's still being held. Meanwhile, Eagle is against 4 by herself, no offense being offered right now. Bonnie's like, please stop with the arms. I would like to go this way. Like, are you guys still here? Come on. This was a time where we were figuring out this formations thing and how to make it work. And that meant you're probably going to see a lot of multiplayer blocks in this game because we were still figuring out how to do this new blocking style well without committing penalties. Once you started deciding to hold on to each other, it was hard to let go when the jammer tested you. And sometimes your arms got tangled together, and that's where those penalties come in. You're seeing roller derby evolving right before your eyes right now as the skaters are learning. It's kind of a magical thing, and that's why this is another game that I picked for our roller derby history celebrations that we've been having on Friday nights. Once again, our youngins jamming against each other. That was a wonderful juke and attack from Lauren. You see how she keeps moving her feet to run through? If you're learning how to jam, think about running on your skates, not just skating on your skates, taking those steps where you pick up your feet, because it's basically learning fall recovery very effectively. If you practice what it would be like if you were falling, because right here, look, very easily getting tripped up on the bodies of people that are falling based on what you just did to them. If you don't want to go down and you want to get those points, you have to keep picking them up and learn how to deal with these unexpected obstacles. One of the things I love to practice this off skates is running on a hiking trail that has a lot of deep tree roots sticking out, and that means it could be kind of treacherous. Sometimes your toe is going to catch one, but it's helped me learn how to run out of an unexpected obstacle. It's basically one of those things where you just kind of hop forward and you keep moving, and then you don't fall flat on your face. Liquor is a power jammer. Liquor often in her skating career relied very strongly on pushing and force because Liquor's very powerful. Look at those legs. You can see all the muscle engagement on her calves. But it's so exhausting. Sarelson's like, hey, how about this? How about over here? Hey, I'm on the outside. Want to come over here? Nope, I have to go make the pack. But wow, these blockers are doing an excellent job against Bonnie's rotational force. Bonnie Thunders is one of the best rotational jammers in the sport. Just knows how to attack and keep rotating the body, doing spins and 360s gradually to just take the space, take the space, take the space, and make you adjust. The more you have to adjust, then the more likely she's going to find the moment where you make the mistake. And she is drawing so many penalties right now. She is celebrating the penalties that have happened. She's pointing to the other jammer. Bonnie's very competitive. Bonnie does not mind winning. One thing I gotta wonder is, how does Liquor jam with long hair down on the neck? I'm also someone with very long hair, and oh my gosh, I don't think I could do it. I am a sweaty person when I start doing the athletics. We have this amazing 1-point game, 36 to 35. We only have 12 and a half minutes left in the first half already. This is intense, and this is the game we absolutely wanted to see. We weren't sure how it was going to go, but wow, is it living up to the hype. And it's just, this game is such a joy to watch. I love it. So Susie's going to have an easier time. Susie has not had an easy game so far. It's been pretty difficult. I'm not sure she's gotten a lead yet, or if she has gotten lead, she has not gotten it consistently. This has been pretty difficult. Look at that fight! And Gotham's just watching. They trusted Susie to do it, and they would rather hold Liquor, who likes the pushing. But look, as soon as Liquor gets some momentum, look how far ahead she got from everybody. But now she's back to pushing those last person or two. Eagle is so focused. You can see Eagle's makeup above everybody else. I like, oh wow, found that outside line and no one was there. I do love how Eagle looks above and ahead. Eagle doesn't look at obstacles, Eagle looks at opportunities. Eagle looks for the way through, the light at the end of the tunnel. But Vicious Van Gogh found the outside line, and that was very effective. Oh, look at that teamwork from Sarelson and Rivas. Best friends blocking together. I miss that combination of players so much. That duo was so inspiring for so many years playing together. There's just something about somebody you have that like deep connection to and you get to play together where you already have wonderful communication and telepathy. I actually got to meet them after Champs the next year, and I asked them about that. I asked Rivas and Sarelson, how do you do what you do? And it literally was like, it's our best friend magic, it's telepathy, we read each other's minds, we just know everything about each other. We've been together so long, besties goals. Now, Lauren Much looked a little bit thrown the first jam, but now she's definitely getting into her groove. You can see that the confidence is building with each jam. She belongs there. She knows she belongs in this game. This is a big opportunity for Liquor and Split. Now, Liquor has been stuck in a really grindy game so far, just pushing and pushing. But once Liquor gets some speed, momentum, and a little bit of help, Liquor can absolutely put a lot of points up. Just trying to split up the two blockers as much as possible and not let them block together. But Liquor is still being held up by them because they're very good at finding her. There are magnets in the glutes. Nice job, Jennings. How is Liquor and Split's hair not even sweaty? Bonnie moving all over the place and messing y'all up, but Eagle did a fancy on the outside. Only a 2-point difference. Maven's been matched up with Lauren Much I think every time that she's gone out. It's been decided that one backwards person did a bad, and Lauren Much is going to capitalize. Nice effort there from OMG. Look at that. Oh my gosh.
Yes, there is a back block call on Lauren Much.
The crowd has opinions about the back block.
I think they respectfully disagree.
But OMG worked so hard on that moment. That was incredibly effective. This game has such a different level of intensity than the game a week ago. Rose only has 3 jammers, and they're running them really regularly. I think there's a relief jammer on the team too, but it's mostly going to be just Lauren Much, Scald Eagle, Liquor and Split over and over again all game, because that's what Rose did for a few years. Gotham has more opportunities to match if they want to, and I think that that's what's happening there, because Bonnie is going to play whenever it makes sense. If that's every other jam, if that's every third jam. Whichever.
Say thank you to Roll
Susie's going to play plenty. Susie has lots of experience. Vicious Van Gogh is performing much stronger than she did the year before, so she's getting in more regular time. And so Maven's just lower on the rotation because of experience, I would guess. But she's doing really well. I mean, this is a really exciting high-level game. Her first opportunity to compete like this. This is hard. Look how grindy it is. Oh my gosh. What an amazing job keeping her footing. Flicker and Split held on there on the inside line. All right, try and Slady on the outside. Told you not to test Slady on the outside. Slady falls over. I feel like this game's getting a little bit snippy. Ooh. Can feel it. Feel the energy. Susie likes to linger in the back and kind of evaluate. Last year, she kind of had that sideways stance to take off from, but Derby has already changed so much, she has changed the way she attacks off the jam line in 1 year. And Much is doing things that Much does. Lauren Much is such a sponge. You can see her learning throughout the game. And what makes her particularly effective is she's gutsy. She's not afraid to do things and try things and do those really fast moves. Lead change! Woo! 58 to 64. This is an exciting game. Have you ever seen two more focused teams? They don't remember the last time Gotham was behind going into the halftime. What? What? And who's this over here? Is that Revis?
With penalty points,
oh my gosh. I don't remember these. I didn't know there were puppets at the 2014 champs. I'm so happy about this. I don't know about you guys. What is happening? All right, we've got Gotham lining up in the back. And the way they're lining up is they've got like 3 forward facing and their 1 backwards person is on the inside line. And it looks like that person, Bonita Applebottom, is going to like slide over as soon as Lauren attacks. Gonna wait and see where the support is needed. Also, the person on the outside line has the ability to flip over and become backwards too. Gotham's defense was kind of doing a little bit more of a paddle system, where you kind of have a backwards person and a forwards person, and here's the 2 lines. And this way, if they attack, the backwards person can just put them right out. So they're doing like 2 and 2s off the start, and occasionally when things break down just to get together. But otherwise, they would rather have this 3 forward with 1 person bracing. Jennings in there just messing it up, trying to mess it up. But now Rose is having some penalties. Revis takes a little tumble. Bonnie's going to start laying it down. She's had a halftime. Bonnie doesn't need rest normally, but give her some rest and you're going to see what Bonnie can do. Lauren's like, why? I hate my life. Why? Could you please? Please stop. Stop it. Stop it. My life. Why? Meanwhile, Bonnie's like, wee! Oh, that was lovely. Just 1 foot backward glide, holding on inbounds. Bonnie is just stressing everyone out into not being able to block right now. Meanwhile, Gotham is incredibly calm. You can see a big difference compared to how they played in the first half already, because I talked about the tension and the hyper energy that both teams were displaying, and you can see the calm is happening. Oh, look at this! Saracen has some things to say to Bonnie. Bonnie saying, no, I disagree with you. The snippy game. Oh, some nice effort from those Gotham blockers on the inside trying to knock out Eagle. Good job reforming at the front, but look at those arms. Rose was figuring out how to make this work. We used to rely on the floor flat wall because our laterals weren't that great. Our laterals have already improved in a year quite a bit to be able to do these formations. It's still really hard to have that reaction time when you're taking up less of the track than you were before. You're looking at skaters with greater skills than they had a year ago. Wow, Slady's just murdering the brace a little bit, but they came back together. Nice rotational force there through the apex. I love how Bonnie sets things up. She sets up a pattern and then breaks it. Test this spot, test that spot. Play a pretty safe game. Don't get the penalties. Look for the opportunities. You're going to make a mistake soon, and then I'm just going to shoot through. Wow. Looker got that surge of energy now. That's one thing I really love watching Looker and Split is does all this pushing, all this energy use throughout the jam. But when those opportunities come up to run away, boy, does she take off. Look at this. Gotham came out immediately 101 to 68 in less than 6 minutes. Less than 6 minutes. They dumped over 30 points on you. Gotham is business. Gotham is here to win. Gotham is not messing around. So this is a very good timeout for Rose City because it looks like they need to make an adjustment. I'm done blocking now. Yes! Apex jump.
Gotham 105 points to Rose City 68, 23 minutes.
Let's see that again.
Here on the instant
You can see her sizing it up.
Scoring
Woo!
And Vicious Van
Oh my gosh, just inside the tape. It's worth that fall. Back advantage goes to Rose City on this one. They're taking the back against Susie. Lauren is on her own. Rose is going to watch for an opportunity to help, and here comes Sarelson. Oh, she was going to help, but you're not in bounds. Sorry, Lauren Much. Susie, what happened to me? Skate backwards to the box? Good, effective stop there. If Lauren had come back in bounds, that would have immediately been a track cut based on the rule set at that time, I believe. And you? Amazing split through the defense. This pack is forever. All right, the blockers are getting back together. Let's see what they do now. Nothing! They did nothing! Rose City had some success now. We're going to keep Gotham to 105. Made Gotham a little bit more flustered in this jam. Gotham was lining up 2 and 2, like we saw them do earlier, trying to connect with arms, but then abandoning that when they're way too far away to do that. McSwagger doing such a great job there on the inside. Bald Eagle's only looking at the jam timer. You noticing this? It's so loud in the building. She's not looking ahead right now. She's looking at the jam timer just to make sure she knows when to go. Oh my God, Sexy Slady on the outside. McSwagger had a run coaching over at VRDL and playing for VRDL. Nick Swagger is really fun to watch play roller derby. There it is! There it is! The thing you're not supposed to do. Vicious Van Gogh crawled through the legs of Rivas. Look at this. My jamming, this is hard. This is hard. Can I... What if I just left? Is this a problem? Look how far she crawled. He committed and crawled for nearly 10 feet. And Rivas is like, WTF? Rivas is so indignant, like, she can't do that, right? Look how different Derby is in a year. The game last week most often had 2 different walls. There is so much more intermingled players in this game. So much one-on-one, so many things going on. Ooh, yes! You know, when I talked to Lauren Much for the podcast, I asked her, how do you get so brave with your speed? How do you train yourself to do this? Just go in the way you do. And she said what she really works on is her stops, because it's about having control when you skate. It's about your edge work and your stops. That's how you get your speed, because you can't be effective having speed unless you have control and ability to stop. So she uses that agility right there, wasn't looking, then there's the hit, there's the edge work, and there's the stop. Bonnie's back again. Bonnie's lead again. Something Rose is doing so effectively in this game is not allowing Bonnie to have long jams when they can. She has gotten some power jams, particularly at the beginning of this half. There was that big one, But for the most part, they're trying to avoid letting Bonnie just rain down the points, as she is absolutely capable of doing.
On that wall, as we can see in the instant replay.
Look at this beautiful movement back and forth, taking the friendly side. There goes Susie. Susie, great lateral movement. Just so good at just giant movements back and forth. You know, the reason it's going so fast is no one's calling timeouts. One timeout has been used in the second half, and that's for the entire game so far. Those timeouts will start getting used toward the end of this half, but for the most part, these two teams want everything to happen right now. They want to make each other tired. They don't want to give a chance for the other team to recover while they're figuring things out if possible. Eagle really wants inside line, but she'll take outside line and then inside again. Eagle did a thing, a back block thing. Back blocks were called a lot. Now you have to see a really specific situation for a back block to occur. Look at how much backwards blocking has changed in a year. Already these skaters are a lot more effective. They're moving better while backward. Eagle's like, oh, are you guys blocking? My bad, I've got jamming to do. Ooh, you fall down. Look at that happy little hop to come back in.
Now this is interesting.
Oh, Eagle's doing Eagle things. That frantic energy is back. That frantic energy that Rose wanted to instill in Gotham and spread to them. They've lost their controlled movement. They're trying to figure out how to get together and be smooth again. Right now, not smooth. Right now, just not quite doing it. Less than 10 minutes to go. Holy moly, Lauren Much. She's just burning with the fire of 1,000 suns. Rose is making Gotham very twitchy. 3-on-2 in the pack. This is going to be really rough. Eagle was kind of doing some defense as well for a moment. Now all the Rose City blockers are back. Very good for Rose, not great for Gotham. Bonnie is doing what she can, but Bonnie does not panic. Bonnie does not freak out, even when other people are freaking out. You can tell by her demeanor and her motions. Bonnie's never frantic. Bonnie just evaluates the situation. Bonnie very much looks at what she can control and doesn't worry about anything else. She can control what she does with her own body. So this was a huge jam for Scald Eagle. We have a 3-point game again, and it's flying by because no one is using these timeouts. This is intense. Revis and Mercy are going to take on Bonnie, while Much is going to break up Swagger and OMG at the front. Looks like, oh, they effectively got her out of bounds. Tried to run back. Good job, Lauren Much. High game. Susie's looking back like, anyone not busy? No? No? Okay. That's fine too. I'll just do things that I know how to do. Back and forth, test and test. Blockers got better at laterals in a year, didn't they? Susie gets through completely untouched. Wow, just Lauren Much is really good at this like abrupt body motion with her upper body and just uses it to slice through people. Bonnie has taken off the star. I never see Bonnie take off the star. Bonnie has passed to Slady. I can't remember the last time I saw Slady jam. She's shaking her head. Maybe she didn't realize. One of those moments where you want to get the points and call it, but that actually could have been a really good opportunity for Rose. It might have been a better bet to see how they could block against Slady and keep her on the track a little bit longer and see what Lauren could do. Wow! Eagle crushed it on that footwork. Eagle came in really slow here. Something was taken out of her on that first pass. Like, you can just tell she came in like kind of sluggish and kind of out of it. She's kind of slowly skating the lap around and trying to get the energy back before coming. That worked really well, but there was a moment where I thought she was going to cut Swagger. I was a little bit concerned because of how her movements are a little bit slower, that maybe she's going to make a mistake. But right now, it looks like they don't know what to do with her. Eagle, go back off Go back off the track.
There's a track cut being called on Scald Eagle.
Oh.
She is going to sit in the notorious.
It used to be you could avoid the track cut if you immediately went to your knees to be like, no, I'm not really trying to take advantage. I'm not really trying to go ahead and score points or do anything with these blockers on the other team. I'm just trying to leave. And Eagle very much attempted to do that there. I said just a second ago, it looked like she was going to make a mistake. Her vision actually was really concerning me because her eyes were cast down instead of up like they normally are. And I think it was making her just a little bit more risky and reckless, just wanting to get through this jam. You can just tell when a jammer's feeling that way. You're tired or you took a big hit and you kind of just want a drink of water and a quick rest, but you can't get that right now. Yeah, and they're contesting the track cut as they should, but Rose City's in a very dangerous place right now because they've got this lead. Seems great. The score is 132 to 144. Woot, Rose City's ahead with Eagle being in the box. Bonnie's ready to go. I'm not sure what's going on with Eagle right now. I'm not sure where she's at physically or mentally based on that last jam. This rest could be a really good time for her to come out and crush it, but we don't know right now. They are leaving Bonnie to do this on her own completely. OMG is communicating, we're staying here and waiting for Eagle because Eagle didn't have as much time left on her penalty. They wanted to be ready for Eagle. They're like, we trust Bonnie. Bonnie can do this. Sarelson desperately trying to hold on to Bonnie. Just here to score points. Just passing through. Just doing my job. My job is to rotate until your body leaves my body. Peel off, jukey juke, bye. Eagle is out, but Eagle is not flying as high anymore. Doing a really good job staying in bounds on that inside line, but did you see how easily Slady was able to hit Eagle? Eagle was almost blind to it. She almost doesn't see the hits anymore. And Bonnie is calm. Bonnie has nerves of steel. When the stakes get high, Bonnie is just gonna dial in and focus. Just gonna give her that little nudge. Bonnie wants to win. We've got the lead right now. Gonna do things that'll help you win. There is no one in the pack anymore. Eagle is suffering, but Bonnie's gonna win. Oh. All right, we've got it. Sarelson sinks to her knees.
No, that is it.
The crowd is doing this very strongly. Gotham was behind going into this jam. Don't forget, they had fallen behind a significant chunk right before this jam. They pulled it off. Bonnie did it without offense. Gotham contained Eagle and kept her slow and tired. This was kind of emotional for everyone watching because you empathize with the player who is clearly suffering and worn down, but you also got a win. And Gotham is incredibly happy that they pulled this off because of how hard it was, because Rose City tested them so much. And this was an emotional game. You saw people getting frantic. You saw people getting snippy. You saw some conversations happening. Gotham proved why they are Gotham, and it's because they had such a strong mindset to come back from the frantic energy, to come back when things are hard. But Rose City could have won. Rose City could have had this. Had a few things gone differently. And I'll never forget that moment where Eagle falls to the ground to try and avoid the track cut, and it's still given to her. The rule changed the very next year. The rule changed about track cuts so that that would have no longer been a track cut. That moment had a big impact on that rule change. You can kind of hear the attitude of the announcers right now. They're a little taken aback. They don't even know how to react to this because this game was so much feelings. It was a long game and Eagle tried really hard. I'll tell you this much. If I had been the skater who was trying to win the biggest thing my team could win in a final game and I saw that other jammer, I would have done the same darn thing. I would have made sure we won. Not because I'm mean, because we all worked too hard to have something happen. But the ending is really hard. But when you think about the course of the entire game and how amazing it was, the individual plays that you saw, the team play that you saw, the fantastic performances of the jammers that just seemed to heighten and get better the longer they were out there as they learned and evolved and adapted, there's just so many great takeaways from this game. Gotham won, and they should be really proud. And Rose City should be really proud too, because they brought it at a level that no one else had ever brought it. Thank you for coming to Storytime with Jackie. I hope you will remember with me why this game was so awesome. And tell your friends. Come back and watch it later.